Yo, I didn't record yesterday, last day. I didn't record yesterday any video because I really was doing very boring stuff. I just set up a CI on GitHub, which wasn't obvious. If you could see, okay, I can show you commits, like 20 previous commits. So I just struggled with Boost because GitHub Actions decided to remove Boost in like this month, a couple of weeks ago. Uh, so there is no Boost installation, like ready-made Boost installation in the GitHub Actions. So I just struggled with setting it up, but it's okay now. It is able to compile everything, including Boost, SDL, and other libraries. The current state of the project, just so. Yeah, there's no tests yet, but I will write some tests, of course, in the future. So they will be performed, built and run on the CI too. But that's in the future. Test, I don't have time for test right now. Yeah, just usual projects mindset. Okay, next. Today I'm gonna do a bit more interesting, like very basic stuff like implementing RAI objects for images, because SDL has C interface and I'm using C++, so I would like to have RAI wrappers for this stuff. So yeah, I will start with it. Okay, so I managed to create an image class which is able to just um, load an image from path using load surface, which I will rename right now. It's trivial, but I wanted to keep it in one function because in the future I'm gonna update it with loading, like optimizing the loaded surfaces. So yeah, I have a load surface function, and in the destructor we just free the surface if it is not null. And it works pretty okay. I've created also the media folder with player PNG. I simplified player PNG to just not have like complicated images right now at this point in the repository. Cool, I can run this and it is gonna load the image from PNG, which is also an improvement because previously we used only BMPs. So yeah, it's loading. Yay! Moving further, as you can see right now, I have no game loop. I just create one thread for ping-ponging with the server, and then I just sleep for a lot. And now the next task is going to be implementing or introducing game loop with events and stuff ready to go. So it was quick. Actually, I just copied it from the tutorial, from Lazy Foo tutorial. Anyway, so we display the player at this rect for the first time, and then every loop we just update its X position, and it just we check whether it hit the end of the screen, end of the window, and we just negate the delta. So yeah, and then we just sleep for 100 milliseconds. That was quick. I don't know what I will do next, but I will do something. Okay, the next thing that I did was boring actually. It was messaging. I just implemented better messaging between client and the server. and server. And so basically now server, when someone connects to the server, a client connection is created, and it derives from messaging interface. The interface is used in the server and in the client as well. And the connection, when it receives something like a full message, the socket will call this callback when we receive a full message, and then we just notify engine about the message. And engine is server engine, and on the message it gets connection ID, so it's able to distinguish between different clients. Message type is right now just an enum. There's a couple of types right now, like ping pong. Player state. Player state is just state of the players in the game. Right now it is just position of the one player, the one client. Player move is sent from client when we press like an arrow. Map info is sent from server to client with the full map info. I will talk about this in a bit. And rec map info is sent from client to server to just request map info, and in the response server sends the map info message. So server engine is actually quite simple. It manages client's connection, and it is able to handle message. And in the on message we just check the type of the message, and for example on rec map info we serialize the map and bang bang bang, and then we like copy the raw bytes of the message, and then we send the message. Yeah, the map is right now, map is very simple too. It is just like width and height and vector of map tile info. Map tile info, the only information it has right now, it is whether it's walkable or not. So yeah, clients is very similar. Server connection is, it's okay. Client is a bit simpler in scope of messaging because it just connects to one server, and server has to like handle a lot of clients. So from client perspective, it's very simple. Okay, it has on message too. No, it has not on message, but when we connect, we set on read callback, and when we read some message, we just, it's very similar to server. We switch over the message type, and for example, when it is player state, we copy the data of the player state, and the player state is at this point just one point, which is the player position. When we get map info, we do some more. We deserialize the raw data and set it to our game state. The game state is the same that server has. Yes, and in main loop, we draw the map. So the game state is created here. We have the state, and we iterate over the map, and we draw a green rectangle on the tile that as the tile that is walkable, and red rectangle when the tile is not walkable. I can start it right now. I think. In the meantime, I also managed to set up some tests. So we have first test, messaging for messaging serialization, for map serialization, and now the tests are also built and run on the CA. Okay, so now let's run client. So now when I press an arrow, we move by one tile. One tile is right now 64 pixel wide and height. And yeah, the dummy map that server creates at this point is just a rectangle map with the border on the edges. So as you can see, we can walk actually on unwalkable tiles, but it will be implemented later. But yeah, that map is rendering properly, let's say. Okay, let's just real quickly set some change the map a bit and see whether it actually changes. So let's say on the 2 3 or 3 3 2, let's set it to false. Okay, now let's stop them, let's run the server. Server running. Let's start the client. And yeah, it works. So that took a while to come up with, but most of the time I spent on coding was with messaging, which is not obvious if you like deal with raw bytes and other C++ things. The next thing is going to be drawing the map from images actually, because right now I'm just drawing rectangles right from the SDL, but in the real game there are going to be images on the map. So yeah, I will work on that. The next thing is I want to make movement not by moving the character, but by moving the world. So the character is going to be always placed on the middle of the map, like on the middle of your viewport of the map, and then when you move, the whole map just moves and everything just moves, like it is in Tibia and a lot of other games. So yeah, I need to make sure that we can't walk on walls, etc. And yeah, more stuff, but it is going to be in the next video. So thank you and see you.